and welcome guys to My Queer View. Thank you for being here today. We're going to talk about the so-called oversight committee hearing last Thursday under the guise of holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress, when in reality it was just a ploy to make some quick cash while feeding the MAGA base a false narrative with James Comer. We will hear from ranking member and just an amazing guy all around, Representative Jamie Raskin. And we will hear from Representative, hold on, let me grab my notes, sorry. We will hear from Moskowitz, Representative Moskowitz, and we will hear from Representative Lynch. All three of them within about 2.5 minutes will clearly lay out for everyone clearly what the actual hearing was about and why it took place after they had spent the day, they meaning the Republicans, had spent the day up in New York at their God King, Messiah from Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump criminal trial, which is just absolutely amazing. You know, he is a disgraced, twice impeached, multi-indicted, insurrectionist loser of a former president. And because he is under the gag order, he is no longer able, because of fear of going to jail, and have already been held in, found in contempt of court, I believe 10 times, and the judge basically said, you know, you do it one more time, you attack court staff, witnesses, family of court staff, in any way, shape, or form, and you will be in jail, sir. And so since then, he has been very careful in what he's said publicly, but he's also, day in and day out, had these Republican lackeys, these spineless cult members in and out at the microphone, screaming lies and nonsense and just complete BS. But, you know, we will watch these clips and then we'll come back and talk about it.
But now it seems, Mr. Chairman, I just got past something that the whole obstruction gimmick may just be a fundraising ploy, which demeans the overwhelming legal integrity and impressive theatrical ambitions of this enterprise. I was just handed a mass fundraising email solicitation for your campaign that you sent out this evening, Mr. Chairman, stating that, quote, Biden and his advisors are terrified that I will release the recordings, forcing the media and Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. This could be the final blow to Biden with swing voters across the country. The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. Signed, James Comer, Chairman, House Oversight Committee. Now, I must confess my disappointment to be handed this fundraising solicitation, signed by you as Chairman of the House Oversight Committee. I thought that you were serious about the legal enterprise here and not just another political huckster calling hearings to score cheap political points and to make a buck. Mr. Chairman.
Mentioned by the ranking member about really what we're doing here. You don't have to listen to my words. I would like to do a spirited reading of the campaign email sent out by the chairman. And it's on lovely stationery. In fact, it says, from the desk of the oversight chairman. I'm not sure you can do that, but I'm not an ethics expert. It says, friend, President Biden is exerting executive privilege in a last-ditch attempt to stop the disastrous audio recording of his interview with special counsel from being released. And it's highlighted in yellow. Want to make sure people saw that. Just a few months ago, the White House bragged that Joe Biden had nothing to hide and would not exert executive privilege during Special Counsel Hur's investigation. They even said he had nothing to hide. That's in italics. Now Biden and his advisors are terrified that I, James Comer, will release the recordings, forcing the media and the Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. He even had attorney Merrick Garland write a letter saying that his interview falls within the scope of executive privilege. This could be the final blow with swing voters across the country. Okay. You and I know, hold on, we're not done, it gets better. You and I know he's not up for the job, but the mainstream's media refusal to report on it as only keeping him in the game. Stand with Comer. The Democrats, you sure about that? The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. That means coming after me with everything they had. If you're able, we hope you are, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider making a donation to my campaign. I sure need it to defend against the onslaught of attacks. Thank you for everything. James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Without objection, I'd like to enter that into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
All right, beautiful.
Mr. Moskowitz, there is an ethics principle that no solicitation of a campaign or political contribution may be linked to an action taken or to be taken by a member or employee in his or her official capacity. That's just a reminder to my side. I hope that nobody is linking specific actions that you're taking on the Oversight Committee to campaign contributions or solicitations. And with that, I'll yield back to the distinct.
Point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to ask the parliamentarian if your conduct here in raising money in connection with this hearing is referable to the Ethics Committee within this hearing. Is a motion in order to refer your conduct and your abuse of
It's not a point of order.
It is abundantly clear that the entire purpose of the late night so-called Oversight Committee hearing from last Thursday was only about being able to try and milk more donations from their constituents, specifically from the chairman of the House Oversight, Comer. And it was borne out to us in absolute real time, as we just seen from those clips, that it was not truly about anything other than a fundraising tool. Absolutely sickening. And I think that James Comer should be absolutely ashamed of himself. And I certainly hope that Representative Lynch and Raskin and Moskowitz, Representative Jasmine Crockett, AOC, all would get together and insist on ethics looking into the fact that he is using the position of chair of the House Oversight Committee as a way to push a certain false narrative and to absolutely try and campaign and raise financial benefit for the campaign because of that, and that is strictly against the ethic rules. So again, guys, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Check me out on TikTok and Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you keep coming back to my YouTube. I so appreciate this. Like, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good jazz. Thanks.